red at though
Hey, the
before.
footage from the cop that shot her, how many minutes or how many seconds
That's
was that
probably
footage?
a minute worth or so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Minute
it's
and a half or
it's
so.
only a
Because
minute. It's
before
only
you
a minute.
click on to the camera, it's 30 minutes of what happened before you clicked it. But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, we were looking for camera 2.
I mean,
That's
30
the eight.
seconds. Yeah.
This
We
is
were
this
looking
is
for
the
camera 2 because that's the camera that majority of people haven't seen. We saw the initial camera from the partner that didn't shoot.
All right. There's no
this,
reason
this
his sound should have been
But
muted.
even the
so
deeper,
quick question, really quick.
point
Hold on for a second.
so
What
far, so
are you looking for? Body camera 1 or body camera 2?
I think what we're trying to assess the
think
throw.
that was
So
2.
2.
Okay, so
Okay. Body camera 1, how long was the
hold on, wait,
footage?
come out. This is the
30
camera
minutes.
from body camera 2.
Yes, you have the one from body camera 2. Yes.
Yeah, this is the one I got.
I'm asking that for a reason because when you double tap the camera, it catches the first 30 seconds before you double tap the camera, which means you can visually see it, but no sound. That's why I
The
asked
whole
that.
the whole entire
I know
video
this stuff. I
is
gotta do this. Yeah.
no. What I'm saying is the whole entire video is 17 minutes long, but this
Okay.
particular body cam footage is 1 minute 20 seconds long. I slowed it down to 0.2 speed. I did
And this
not
is
enable
blurred, right? So
This is blurred. This is blurred. Yes, I'm
rewind it.
I'm not even gonna show the part where now if I rewind it, it's gonna go way far back and it's gonna take us forever.
Yeah, it's probably blurred because this shit was dirty. His lens was dirty.
So here we go. The pot that's on the stove is gray. She has red oven mitts. She grabs the pot.
Oh my fucking god!
No, I'm sorry. The pot is red. So she grabs the pot and she's placing it on the countertop. There's Officer Grayson. That's the body cam that everybody usually refers to.
Correct.
Because if you look at his body cam, as he's aiming down the sights, his forearm is covering up the body cam. This is why body cam number 2 is so important. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the slider. I'm gonna move forward. I'm not gonna play no sound though. So he's walking over. This is the part where they said we don't want to get burnt by hot fucking water. And she was like, "What did you say? We don't want to get burnt by hot water." So then, as he turns, because he's gonna turn, he turns over here. He's looking in this room. This is where she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Are we all following so far?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So now we're gonna get to the part where he turns, and you see Officer Grayson with his hand on his gun right there. This is where he said, "I'll shoot you in the fucking face."
That was wrong.
Right. That's where it was wrong. Now, he unholsters his gun, and I'm going to press play. Mind you, there's no sound, but it is in slow-mo. So she drops to the floor. Mind you, there is water in that pot.
Yes.
She drops to the floor. That is a red oven mitt in her hand. He taps on he does something with his hand, but the camera already been rolling. I don't know why he did that. As you can see, the floor is dry as shit. It's bone dry. There's nothing on the floor just yet.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls his gun. This is why this video is important, because his forearm is not going to cover.
One, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now she's still on the floor. Get to the part. 1 second.
Yeah, he's sweeping his partner.
Yeah, he's
stupid.
All right. She's already shot at this point.
The floor is wet.
And the floor is so this first comment that she threw the water. I'm sorry, that the floor was already wet before she went down. Excuse me. So now the floor is wet. Can everybody see that the floor is wet? And yes, there's steam coming from the floor. That water was hot.
There's steam. Okay.
Yeah, I can't see the steam, but I'll take your word for it. I just can't see any.
Yeah, I thought I saw in the other video. I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, the steam is right in this area right here. That's where the steam is.
Okay.
I wear glasses, my bad.
I can play it in fast motion, but it's going to play the sound, and I don't want to do that. But at this point, she's already shot. This is body cam number 2, like I said. Now, please drop my screen. I'll go get you body cam number 1.
And are you saying 2 and 1 because 1 is the officer that did the shooting?
1 is Officer Grayson. He's the one that actually did the shooting. This officer did not fire not one bullet.
All right. So the video that I played and showed you guys, it actually called Grayson's camera camera
Correct.
too. But I think Cell's just simply saying because he's the one in the lead that did the shooting, his is the primary camera. And
Now,
his is also the one that's absent of sound, regardless if you play it at real time, correct?
there you go. Now, here's body cam number 1. I'm going to share this screen. Oh wait, don't share it just yet. Okay. Present, share screen. This one.
Anybody have any question before we go?
This is what I was trying to tell John.
Question though.
Okay,
Any
go ahead.
questions based on what we just watched?
Yes. What was the point of showing us the water on the floor right there? Are you saying that she threw it or not?
I'm gonna get to that part because the comments have been not just on this show but around the internet is that the water was cold and that she didn't have water in the pot and it could have been oil. If it was oil, if anybody has ever spilt hot oil, it doesn't steam. Oil doesn't steam; it smokes. There's
water.
no way to. It was water. Then the other comment was that it was cold water. Well, that was definitely hot water. Now here's Officer Grayson's camera. I'm going to play this very slowly so that we can go through fine detail as to what's happening. She's already on the floor. She's not shot yet. I'm going to be pausing a lot, so if anybody have any questions or want me to pause, just let me know. She's coming off the floor.
He's standing up. There it is.
Okay, she's standing up. There.
She's grabbing the pot.
Hold on,
That shit red, dog.
Wait a minute. Let's
right.
do this. Cell brought the film. He slowed it down. He did the work. Let him go ahead and give the step by step, and then we can give our opinion. Go ahead, Cell.
Okay. At this point, the gun is trained directly on her head. If you're paying attention, her left arm is lowered in a bent position. Her right arm is extended upwards. She has the pot. She's coming up like this. Y'all can't see my camera. But just imagine like a strong arm flex position. She's coming up like this with the pot. All right, go back to the camera. As she comes up, she's shot right here. This is the point where she's shot. If you're paying attention, you can see the two red. Can you see my mouse? Yes, you can see my mouse.
Yeah, we can see your mouse.
One oven mitt right here. Second oven mitt right here. She's not throwing the water. She's going backwards. The reason she's going backwards is because she's shot. She didn't throw that water. That is a jerk reaction to a bullet entering the body. She dropped that. That's what I thought. That pot. She never threw that water.
Sale, was there water in the pot at that time?
Yes. You see the floor is dry.
No, in the. Okay.
Yes. There's water in the pot.
There's water still in the pot. The floor's still dry, so we can deduce that there's water in the pot still.
All right.
Go ahead. Finish.
So now she's shot. I'm going to speed this up just a bit.
Yeah, you can actually see it coming down.
Let me go back a little bit. Oh, this clip is only 31 seconds. So yeah.
Hold on. That clip is 31 seconds.
This clip is only 31.
Hold on. Let him guys. Let him finish the video. So it goes to your point, Jay Smooth.
And even right here, this red patch right here, that's blood. She shot. She didn't throw that water. That's a jerk reaction to her getting shot. After she gets shot, the pot hits the floor and there's water on the floor. This is only 31 seconds, but yeah, there's water on the floor. So that concludes my presentation. All in all.
Salute.
Look,
can I ask a question?
This is what I want to say. If she dropped to the ground, if she put her hands up and if she dropped to the ground, she had a hand on the pot already.
No. So the full entire clip, which will take way too long for us to go through, when she grabbed the pot off the stove, she set it on the counter first. That's when she was talking. That's what she was saying. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
When the cop said, I'll shoot you in your fucking face, and he pulled the gun, when she first went down, she threw her hands up. She didn't have the pot was still on the counter. As the officer is approaching her, you can look at the counter and see that pot is not on the counter no more. She snatched that pot down to show them
okay. Stop right there, Sal. When she snatched the pot down,
it still had water.
Telling me she that good in a frantic mood. No water came out the pot. She just, you telling me why water was still in the pot?
More than likely, because when the autopsy report came out, all they talked about was the bullet wound. They didn't say anything about third or second degree burn. But either way, hold on, let me finish this. Either way, if the water hold on for a second. If the water came out the pot the first time when she went down, the floor would have already been wet when she came up to get shot the second time. But you also have to remember this fact. Officer Grayson, I don't know his exact height, but when you look at the video, he's substantially taller than her. When she's coming off the floor, even when you listen to the autopsy results, the bullet entered her eye and exited her neck. He shot 3 times, one of which missed. So as that bullet hit her in the eye, it came in at a downward angle. Here, let me give y'all a quick lesson in forensics. This is just the truth. The best way to do it to find the trajectory of the bullet is to take a little, I'm going to just say a wire. Yeah, it's like a needle. You place it in the hole and you trace that line back to where it's pointing. So if you shoot me in the arm and that arm, you catch an artery, they need to find out where exactly was I standing at. So you now take Officer Grayson's height, you take his gun rise level, because even at that distance, there will be no bullet drop off. As the bullet entered her body, exit out of her neck, you can deduce by his height and by his gun rise level, she was still on the floor. She was just coming off. The most she came off, she probably got her thighs off the floor. Her knees were still on the floor. Hence, in case in point, this is misconduct. Why they charged him with 1? Well, they charged him with murder 1, right? They just need a heavy charge that may not stick, but misconduct, that's what's going to get.
But see, if any one of y'all had a case, if any one of y'all had a case, the reason why I was telling John, you should be careful with that rhetoric by just saying it matter of factly that she was throwing the water, right? Because that turns the case from a deliberate kill to discretionary.
Even not,
that's big, bro.
That's really big.
That was deliberate.
This is the comment that I made earlier. This is why I asked Diesel that question. Is great bodily harm? It's great bodily harm. The threat of great bodily harm is deadly force applicable when it comes to self-defense. He said, yep. So even in that moment, unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but it's an ugly truth. I even talked to a lawyer about this, and he was like, unfortunately, because of the law, deadly force is safe to, or it's fair to use when it comes to great bodily harm. So if you come at me with a pot of boiling oil, even though it may fuck up my skin, you don't know, it may cause me to send me into shock or something like that. That shock can cause a heart attack. Damn, I'm dead. So can I use deadly force to stop you from throwing that oil at me? Yes. Can I use deadly force to stop you from throwing hot water at me? Yes, I can. The misconduct part comes in because everything leading up to her getting shot is misconduct, and that's what's going to get him.
He shouldn't have grabbed his gun.
And they got two people there also, man. They got two cops there also. So let's say it affected one. The other one is also capable of stopping the threat. My thing is that you say the last clip was 31 seconds, right? Sale?
Yes.
Empty point.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So 30 seconds, the cop should have double clicked his camera to get sound. That may have been all intentional for him not to click the camera, for him not to get the sound, is what I'm saying. Because when I double click my camera, it automatically records the first 30 seconds prior to me clicking my camera to catch anything behind that. But it gives you visual, but it don't give you sound. And that's why I asked that. And I knew that. I'm sorry.
Hey, Hamp, I got one more point.
I knew that he clicked. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I'm just giving you perspective from what the cops did. I got to ask on camera, but go ahead. You got it.
But here's another point that adds to this. What did he do after the shooting? If you paid attention to what he did after the shooting, the second officer who did not fire his gun, he said, "I'm going to get my kid." Officer Grayson said, "There's no point," and I'm only quoting what he said verbatim.
Right.
A little bit. He said, "There's no fucking point. That's a headshot." And then this is where he can get caught on misconduct. She technically was still alive. He didn't even try to administer aid, even though she was shot in the head. So when by his own statement on camera, he said, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, I'm just quoting what he said. He said, "The crazy bitch is still breathing." He then walked out the house.
And even deeper than that, if there was a thought that she would still be alive, the fact that he didn't do anything to remove the said alleged thrown pot out of her reach lends even more credence to where that wasn't even a threat. The fact that John agreed that A, it was wrong, and B, the intentions was off. So even though that's a very important detail as to whether it was thrown or not, it doesn't negate everything that happened before, during, and after that interaction. And I think that, like I said, to go to intent of murder one, because that's kind of what separates the levels, is intent and maliciousness. So the fact that he made the statement before any of this happens will negate whatever she did in between, because the statement was made, gun was drawn before she did anything. And you walked her into the whole fucking trap by ordering her to be in the very situation she was in. That's what makes this whole, not that it was pointless, because that was a dope breakdown, but I do think that the fact that John agrees that A, the cop shouldn't have did it, and B, the intent was established prior to any discretion of the pot moving, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that clear?
And from my perspective, Strata, that officer that shot her had ill intent. Because after the words that he said, protocol, when you shoot someone, and I'm just giving you from my experience, when you shoot someone, you're supposed to administer aid.
Correct.
Yep.
And the thing about it is that he did none of that. And the reason I bring up the camera, the 31 seconds, is because he intentionally did not double click his camera to receive sound as well as audio.
Yeah.
You know,
all right.
and
So the video, I post in the back. I'm not sure if I can play that one, which is probably the reason why Chris got it off of X anything goes. But you can see her being shot, and you can see her bodily reaction. In you can tell, like, you watch it. So I think Cell, man, your breakdown is awesome, especially given this zoomed in video. Because what it is, Cell, it's the same video, right? But it's just zoomed in, like between his arms almost, right? So it's like the gap between his gun and his arms, where she has the pot, gets shot, because you can see, because she got hit in the face first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also see the other wound on her chest that instantly the blood comes, and then that's when the pot contorts, like her body contorts, and then it flails essentially with that pot coming forward. I just don't know if I can play that one, but
when the story first broke,
I put it in the back for y'all to see if y'all want to look.
I'm gonna say the content creator's name. His name is Nate the Lawyer. When the story
Chris,
first
good
broke,
shit, by the way, for finding that video. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, but his name is Nate the Lawyer. When I first seen the video and he gave his reaction to it, he said that this is 50. He was 50-50 on it. But we all know when it comes to lawyers, they can be slippy each way. With don't matter. It depends on who's paying. But I went back and I talked to him on Twitter. I was like, do you mind giving this a second look through, because it has to come down to the bodily jerk to her getting shot. So he went back and he recanted his video, and he was like, I'm going to present this to someone. He was like, do you mind giving commentary on it? I said, I kind of don't want to give commentary on it, because at the end of the day, let's just call it for what it is. Fuck the details. A black woman is dead unnecessarily. Someone has to answer for this. I get the legal ramifications. That's why earlier, that's why I brought up the Breonna Taylor situation. The Breonna Taylor situation, most if not all of those officers got off except for the one. The only one that didn't get off is the one that blindly fired through the window. The other officers got off legally. And even when you look through the case notes in the law about how this law is applied to a situation of an incident, I'll give you an example. Let's say me and Beans get into a situation, and Beans comes to my Beans. All right, well, Beans, I'm gonna use you anyway, just because you shake me. I'm gonna use you anyway. So if I approach Beans with deadly force, Beans has every right to get away if he can, or he can defend himself. But it all comes down to his mindset in that time. If I have no way to retreat, and self-defense is my only option, I'm going to do whatever it is that I can to stop the threat, even if that means deadly force. So this is why, and it's an ugly argument to be made. But even in Grayson's case, he can say, "Oh, I acted in self-defense. I was afraid for great bodily damage." He can say that. He's legally within his right to say that, even if it's
not if I'm the prosecutor.
There you go.
And it depends on what state you're in.
There was no need for him to shoot. She was nowhere near him. The way you broke it down, Cell, that is exactly what I was saying, that she got back up. But you're not going to see that at regular speed. The way you broke it down is the same way that myself and others saw it, where they went through it frame by frame. Now, at the point where she got it up, she was in the throwing motion. If she was shot at that point, the way that it was presented was that she was in the throwing motion, which she was, but she was shot. And now from what you're saying, if it goes by how you're presenting it, the water spilled while she didn't get it off, but she was in the motion, and he shot her before she could throw it.
So let me just, I'm gonna clean this up really quick and then let Beans get in. That is not what Cell articulated at all.
What he said.
Cell said nothing to the mention. Cell said nothing to the mention of she was about to throw the pot. He said
no, I know he didn't say that.
Well, he said that. Well, be very clear. You guys aren't saying the same thing. Cell said she grabbed the pot. She did not throw the pot. Instead, the impact from the bullets caused a jerk reaction for the pot to move forward. So no, not agreed, because you are asserting that she was about to throw the pot. Cell never said that.
Hold up. Hold on. No.
Everybody slow down. Everybody slow down.
Yeah, hold up. This is me and Hamp right now, folks.
I know. I'm saying that you're making an assertion that she was about to throw the pot. I'm just being very clear.
You're right. You are.
Good gracious, man. Cell did not say that at all. So he did not, and it's an assertion and an assumption that you said you couldn't do for so many other things, but now you're doing it in terms of her throwing the pot. This is why your argument is breaking down, John, every time.
Okay,
man. Go ahead. And then after you rebut or retort, Beans, you up. I don't need to respond.
All right. Yeah. So again, I said that she was in a throwing motion. I never said Cell said she threw it. I never said that. He clearly already pointed out that she did not throw it, but you can clearly see she was in the throwing motion. This is where I and others looked at it as if she were in a throwing motion, that she threw it. That's what I am saying. I am saying now, after seeing it, this is the way that it was presented, to where it was broken down slow enough that you could see that she got back up and she grabbed the pot. Now, from that point, the way that he's asserting, now I can see where Beans asked, could I be wrong? I can see now, based on what's being shown, where I could be wrong, that she did not throw it. But what I said is that she got back up and she was in a throwing motion. And the way it was presented previously, it looked as if she threw it, but she was in that position. So I'm not discarding what Cell said. I am not saying that he says she threw it. I'm saying that she was in a throwing motion, is what you could say, what you could see. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying here. No one is saying,
All right, no, I just wanted to understand it, right? And you were able to have your commentary. Go ahead, B.
You know, it's so odd that you just said that, John, because I was about to say I understand exactly why you're saying that now. I think when you look at the uncensored video that I just looked at, unfortunately, I wish I hadn't, because now I feel like fucking crying. That's why I don't like watching that type of shit. Because it fuck.
You didn't have to die.
Go ahead. I'm interested to hear your take, Bean. Go ahead.
I'm trying to compose myself first.
I got you. Yeah.
So, but I see why you're saying that. I see why you saw it that way, especially
That's
if
better.
you saw it like without the censor. I could see why you would say that way. And you would say you saw it that way.
Yeah.
She didn't have to die, y'all.
I can't say for sure either way at this point. It happened so fast. But it's the fact that the impact was so simultaneously right there at the same time where the perceived throwing motion happens is where this case is going to be lost at.
But
Yeah, you. Well, let me just make sure because Beans, he pausing because he doing a bunch of things at once, right? So I just want to make sure he's totally done. And Beans, when we're giving it that reasoning, right? Because you looking at it as objectively as possible. I think that's why when we play it with this sound, it offers so much confusion to her in that moment. And I played it. I'm not sure if you were in the back or not, but when we played it with the sound, and Cell had the video, we can turn the sound on. She puts, when she goes down and the pot's on the counter, he's still saying put the pot down repeatedly. Right? Even when she said I'm sorry, drops to the floor, the pot's sitting up above, and he's saying put the pot down, put the pot down, put the pot down, right?
Which is what would have made her reach. And
well,
we
don't even have to
hit the pot to put it down.
You see what I'm saying? Wait, slow down, right? So you see all that, and so that's why when John says he has these expertise, psychology, you're giving a command. You have the expertise, right? Based on your education. So psychology, right? If you ever do that to a kid or something? You give your kid all types of direction, they get confused. When we was playing, that shit happen all the time. They be like, "What the fuck do you want me to do?" So she's on the floor. Put the pot down. Okay, let me get the pot, right? That's why I was asking for the expert, right? To use that deductive reasoning to give us a psychological stance like they do on every court show I've ever watched in my life. They bring an expert psychologist in to give you reasoning behind what happened in a given situation.
Yeah, can I say something real quick, Help?
Yeah, and that's why Beans, when he saw it that way, we don't understand because we saw it in slow motion before we just saw it, and we didn't see it that way. But we also used all the information around the situation to give our final hypothesis, right? Because it's we don't have it. Beans, if you want to say something, you can. I've been waiting. He's been skipped over 3 or 4 times. I was just giving that while you was doing your thing. Go ahead. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and we out.